Okay, right now I'd like to show you some of the most basic of basic techniques in watercolor. And to do that, I've got just a piece of scrap paper here and 2 water containers. I always have one for dirty water and one for clean. I clean my brush with this one, but then I also give it a final rinse with this one. It's important to have a very clean brush, especially when you're working with light or very pale colors. One thing that you'll notice in watercolor is that my palette does not contain black or white. White is what this is for. Our white is the white of the paper, and using water to lighten our colors and control the hue and the value. So we're just going to start by taking a dark color here. I'm just grabbing a little bit of this Perylene green. It's a really dark green. I've just added it to my palette. I like it quite a lot. It's Perylene green from Daniel Smith. And it's mostly paint that I have on my brush right now, and just enough water to really moisten that color. And you can see how dark it is. It's really almost a black. Now if I were to just clean my brush and add a little water to that area of my palette, I'm going to lighten the color. And this is pretty elementary stuff, right? Of course adding water is going to make it lighter. And then the more water you add, the lighter it's going to be. So you have a lot of control over the value of your paint. And then anything I want to stay white is going to be the white of my paper. Water also serves another purpose. I've painted my dark green right here, but by adding the water even just to the edge of it before it's dry, I can lighten that color and really have it transition to white just by continuing to go in with a clean damp brush. And look at that beautiful gradation that I'm getting. It's just fading right away. That's a really soft, we call that a soft edge, because there really is no edge there at all. That's the second thing I wanted to show you, is that when you're painting with wet paint on a dry piece of paper, you're going to get a nice crisp line. The paint will not travel across that border between wet and dry. So I can really control where my paint goes. However, if you have a wet area of your paper, either starting out wet, which is what I'm going to show you right here, as soon as I start to paint on that wet area, you can see I don't have the control. My paint's immediately starting to flow. The wetter my paper is, the more it's going to flow. And it'll just flow right until it finds a border. So anywhere, once the moisture stops, I've got a dry area here that I didn't wet. The paint might flow right to there. If I have enough paint and water on it, it'll just keep moving, either until it dries or finds that boundary. And you can see it's kind of turning here because that's a dry area. So that's one reason why I would want to tilt my paper, why I want to use a painting board. And the more I move it, the more I tilt my paper, the more I can move that paint around until it starts to dry. The other thing you can do is you can start, which I demonstrated with the Perylene green, you can start painting on a dry area of your paper, and then you can tell it where to go with a clean damp brush. So now I can start moving that color across my page. And say I'm painting maybe a leaf, and I might start my leaf shape like so. Clean my brush because I want that leaf to get lighter as it travels, and then I can just go in with clean water and move that color around. And this is also a really good way. You can start with a dark color, and now because it's wet, I can add in a color as well. And you can see how that new green just wants to follow the area that's already been wet down. And that's really using a combination of wet on dry. You painted my initial leaf on the dry paper and then came in and added more color as the leaf was wet. So you're painting wet on wet. And those are the two techniques that I use the most in painting. I really love having a variation in my edges, and by that I mean when you're painting on a dry piece of paper, your lines stay where you keep them. That's called a hard edge or a crisp edge. But then if you go in while it's still wet and add some water, you can create a soft edge where that color just kind of fades away. And it makes for a much more interesting painting than simply having nothing but those hard, crisp edges everywhere you go. And then maybe I'd go in, paint a little stem, let some of those colors mix and mingle. This is the fun of watercolor. And being able to mix those colors and let them do a little bit of their own mixing right on the paper. And start dotting in other colors, letting them do their thing. If I have too much green flowing up towards my flower, then I can tilt my paper just a little bit away. See if I can zoom in and you can see how that moves. And it's very pleasing and very pretty. Once it dries, then I'll go in and I would add more detail. So those are the two main techniques I use. Painting with wet paint on dry paper to get a crisp line like so, and painting with wet paint on wet paper to get that flowing blended look with the very soft edges. And then using the two together to create interest in a painting. Basic techniques, but once you start using them and combining them and mastering them, you can create some really beautiful and interesting and intricate paintings.